was not in a good place at all. I was struggling with addiction. I was struggling with family issues. My oldest son, he just really kind of was standoffish with me because he knew I was using. My life was spiraling downwards more so than it ever has. I was 17 weeks pregnant when I found out I was pregnant. I probably cried nonstop for an hour. My whole world was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Because I knew I had been using and I didn't want a baby born into addiction. I didn't want to do abortion, but I did call about them, because I had no place to live and I just wasn't sure what I was gonna do. Once I called them, the behavioral health center, and told them that I was pregnant, they immediately got me in. And they told me, don't stop using, because if you do, it could send him into withdrawals and he could end up seizing. So they just told me to use as little as possible. You could tell that he would be more active, way, way more active in my stomach, because he was in withdrawals, because I wasn't doing, enough. And then when I finally got in and was able to get on the medicine, you could tell the difference. And, his movement, it was more like that normal baby movement in your stomach.
The first day she was here, it was palpable. Her fear, her anxiety, she was a mess. Just being honest. She was just very despondent and very just fearful. You find out you're pregnant is scary enough, but when you are also an addict and you have so many other things going on as well, it makes it even worse. And so, our job is very delicate and we kind of have to walk them through it.
Every last one of them told me they loved me, and that's the first time they met me, and gave me a hug and told me that they were praying for me. And I'm not used to that, from people. They listened to me, with no judgment and just let me talk. If I cried, hugged me and told me they loved me and that they were praying for me.
Whenever Amy first met me on the mobile unit, she was very distraught, very downcast in her spirit. Her countenance was very low and she was just concerned about her future. But I think there was an inner turmoil going on with her about what she was going to decide to do with this pregnancy. And then whenever we were able to do her ultrasound, she was able to see her baby. And it was a lot more formed than I think she thought it would be.
And I seen his little heartbeat. I remember laying there just crying. And at that point thinking, I can't do this. I cannot have an abortion. Stacy was, showing me all the little spots and, how long his arms were. And I couldn't believe how big he was already. And it's like, oh my gosh, I've already done damage to him. And I remember telling myself that no matter what damage I've done, from as soon as I could get into a program, I was done. And I was gonna do everything I could to make sure that he lived a happy and healthy life and didn't have to deal with the addiction issue or a mother that was addicted. I look at Noah as my savior. He saved my life so I could give him life. I want him to go as far as he can go in life. And by me doing things to take better steps to improve my life, will show him that.
I think the baby helped and motivated her to get into a treatment program with the encouragement also of our advocate, and Stacy was able to stick with it and continued to go. And I know here we are a year later and she's been clean over a year actually.
After walking through her pregnancy and then choosing life for Noah, seeing her today, she just had a very bright countenance. Her spirit was like a weight had been lifted off of her shoulders. A huge weight had been lifted.
Stacy still checks on me and calls me weekly, messages me. I felt like God put her in my life for a reason, that she's an angel in my life. And I still tell her that to this day, that She's definitely my angel.
As Christians, we're called to love as Christ loved us. And so Christ laid his life down for us. And so we're to lay our lives down for others. That's kind of, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. That's my Christian walk, is I want her to know that people out there care for her, that we're here for her, and we want her to realize that people do genuinely love her.
I have hope today, and I have peace today. Had it not been for having Noah, I wouldn't have any of that. None of it. I'm gonna cry. He's changed my whole world. And I have so many people to be thankful for that.